roll, and like Gabi can only connect on a Pango roll, and like the stun for puck is somewhat non-existent. It's like a roll into blink on the puck, so that might be a problem.
I was hoping they were going to go for a TA there, actually, so they have that extra silence. And because the problem I have right now with like this Luna pick is you're going to want to buy Satanic, right? But you're playing versus Ancient Apparition, so you can't really use it. You can't really dodge it either if you are a Luna. So a little bit of a bold choice here, I think, from Watson.
The TA was banned.
Oh, was it banned? All right, then maybe. That's why I didn't pick it.
Also, Luna versus CK, I feel like CK is very happy playing into that because his illusions just tank the Eclipse, right?
True.
I mean, you can't kill them with your Glaives later on, but you do need time to get there, and if you're going into the late game as Entity, you have zero solutions for this puck, so you don't want to go into the late game. You want to play on your early Luna timing, 5-man, maybe play their Aura, get a Roche, and try to end as early as you can, but it feels like a tall order versus Virtus.pro's picks right now.
Yeah, I want to see what the build on Luna is going to be, because Shiro, he plays a bit of a different Luna than others. He tends to put multiple points in Lucent Beam, which would threaten a kill on Tidehunter. He goes through the gates and ganks the enemy carry, so I want to see if it's going to be this farming Luna 1-4-4 build, or if he's going to start to play much more active early on and get stuff done.
Well, if you want to find out what kind of build Luna's going to have, we have to watch the game being played out. Before we do that, though, we are going to head over to Tsunami, who's going to have a couple of words from the coach, G.
Thank you, that's right. I'm standing by with G of Virtus.pro. G, I'm kind of curious what the mood is with your players, because I feel like every time I talk to FNG, he seems surprised that he won a game. At a certain point, you guys just gotta accept, you're pretty good at Dota right now.
I'm most surprised that games are so fast these days, you know?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like, when's the last time we even saw a 60-minute game? It seems like it's been forever. What's going on right now? How about this game? What's your expectations?
Another fast game, I hope.
You guys ready to stay here all night? Then let's get it started with game number 2.
Yeah, fast game indeed, that game one. We'll see if we do indeed get another one of those here in game 2. VP versus Entity, game 2, just about ready to hop into the action. Folks, what do you sort of make of the change-ups in the draft this time? Do you think Entity's got a bit of a better shot? It's definitely going to be a bit of a different timing compared to the morph that they're going for this time around.
Yeah.
Rallying around this last pick of the Luna.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to go for a much more early rounded draft, and also, for me, it feels like this one should be very, very kill and chaotic kind of thing. Like, there's so much team fight coming out, honestly, from both sides. Entity probably having a bit more because it's just overwhelming with Warlock, Dawn, Pango, and everything too. But I think we're in for a treat. I think this one should be quite active. I say that, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, with the way the games have been going today, who knows?
Gabby?
Some early action here around the bouncy broom. Won't be able to get any further grab onto Gabby. He'll be able to step away from this one. I mean, so overall, are you preferring one of the two drafts here in this game too?
Unsure. The matchup, the CK versus the Luna, is a little bit of that concern, just because the Luna versus the A, like they're mentioning toward the end, and then the literal zero stuns, really, reliable stuns for a puck, is a concern. So slightly favoring VPs, but Entity, they've got a very good way of being able to fight early, setting that tempo and responding to a lot of these ganks. So I've really been liking Dawn as well too. They do have a really good tri-core that can scale if they do get off to a good start into those later stages too. So only slightly, I would say, I would be favor. I'd love to see how these lanes go.
And in particular, right, Squadix last game, as you said, had an incredible time, and his Pango didn't die much at all. This time round on the puck, the potential for a similar sort of performance from him?
Absolutely, yeah. He definitely has free reign. There's literally nothing really he has to watch out for these stuns. So yeah, should have a really, really good game. And the lane as well too is pretty nice for a puck, in particular versus that Pango. Should be able to get some good solid farm. So yeah, the Luna pick though, this is a pretty old school kind of pick to deal with the Tidehunter. No, a lot of the other heroes were banned out, so Watson wanting to play with this. That's also not only just good in the lane, but also fits well with that tempo style that they're looking for this game. Well, let's see, because also, they've gotten back to, I would say, earlier in this tournament, even going back to a Warlock, a hero that's actually just been untouched in these last few days.
I mean, why is that? What is it? Just sort of other supports rising up in favorability over the Warlock in most cases?
I think the lane is starting to be pretty difficult for a Warlock, and you're also incredibly immobile. You're literally one of the most immobile heroes in Dota, so if people are just like pulling you around the map constantly, it can be very, very problematic. And yeah, you don't really provide an actual, disable or anything like that. You just provide that big team fight to back up your team.
So far, looking at these side lanes. I mean, what is sort of to be expected out of them? Who's going to struggle the most in this early game?
Ooh, struggle the most. It's going to be someone bottom, I'd imagine. I'm not sure who, though, because right now Notice is he's kind of standing his own, and he does have the point in Kraken, so he might be okay. Maybe just like one of these supports or something like that. I think the cores overall should be pretty okay. The Dawn, maybe. I guess the Dawn top lane is a bit of a struggle as he does get brought down.
Be able to get him there. First blood for Kuritish.
It's always tough to really slow down CK. He does go for the very aggressive reality rift point.
But since he has AA, he goes for instant aggression. So
I've seen a lot of players go for the level 2 Chaos Strike, but since he has AA, he goes for instant aggression. So
yeah, one of those classic kill lanes, that duo.
Yeah. Sometimes the Willow is able to dissuade that a little bit there, but the Dawn, I mean, you heard Saberlight saying in particular, this is one of those matchups that he does not like to play versus too much of the CK in lane. Dawn.
There's only so much you can really do offensively against the CK, right? Kuritish is always going to have that sustained.
Yeah.
So not easy to drop sort of aggressive spells on towards him. Maybe they find FNG, they can try for him again. Gabby is going to get caught. Well, that cold feet proc, a lot of damage coming down onto him. He's prepared with the salve. But
good thing he brought that.
Not an easy time trading with these two.
Oh, careful. Chilling touch. Does get hit, loses quite a bit of that effectiveness.
It's looking to be a pretty easy lane for the CK.
Yep.
This has been many a time with this hero. One of the reasons why you can grab it up nice and early in the drafts.
And Watson's lane, it should be fine. The Tides is going to start getting slowed down a little bit here. But does have, of course, he does go for that Kraken Shell point, so he's able to get some dispels and stuff onto the Fatal Bonds. But 2 points now, up on that Lunar Blessing. Able to get some good damage to his zone noticed a bit.
Mid lane seems to be very even here between Squadix and Stormer. Getting action around these 4 minutes.
I mean, we're already getting
runes.
We're getting a move here from Seush. He's already playing around toward bottom. Rune, who's going to get it? Stormstone will able to pick that one up.
Squadix will indeed at least be able to have that one-on-one secured for him by Seush's positioning. Entity themselves not sending any further members over towards that mid lane right now. Top lane, Mango's being popped here by FNG. Maybe seeing if they can try for another attempt onto Gabby.
They've got another blood grenade at the ready too, so if Gabby's not careful, could be dangerous. Katomi will get a side pull, so she'll be able to deny a decent amount of this XP here.
Just trying the best to hold the lane in a position that won't give the opportunity for VP to set up with these two.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be really, really nice here for Gabby. Getting this now under the wave. Should be able to keep it. It's going to push a little bit out, but yeah, gets himself a nice farm. Notice now starting to kind of cut the wave, and he's actually putting the second point into this Kraken Shell, something you don't see too often nowadays on these Tides, but versus this lane, he just wants to sit down here versus the Luna, so definitely understand. Yeah, even opting away from pointing Gush at all. Gabby.
They're gonna not quite be able to get the Rift Drag back this time round, so Gabby manages to walk it off. Another wave coming in towards him under the tower. Doing their best here on this top lane despite that early death.
And I mean, look at Fishman. Looks like he's trying to make some type of aggressive move here with 2 points and up people. Watson's already gotten, I mean, he's got level 4, so he's just kind of hitting some jungle creeps for the time being. Does open up the movements for Seush, where now he can just leave his Tidehunter completely alone as soon as they do scout this out. Kuritish
getting aggressive on towards him. And they go with a swing of the hammer, bringing Kuritish down low.
Got the stun though before the Starbreaker stun connects.
He's going to be able to get back under his tower. Katsumi trying to do that final bit of damage here. The Fatal Bonds bringing Kuritish down low. That doesn't look to be enough to take him down though. Kuritish will survive the attempt.
Good stun. If he gets hit from the Starbreaker stun, he's likely to go down there.
It's not going to catch him. We're around it. We'll still have the hit from the shadow round though, so FNG will still fall. Entity with the three of them, they'll get the kill. Same time down bottom. Rotation from Stormstorm coming in with the Rolling Thunder. Look at bring down Notice on the back of a Seish, but only so much a Pugna can do. Notice, he'll fall. Entity finding a couple of kills up and down the map.
Very nice rotations. I mean, they're the first ones to make the hit.
Kuritish stepping back in. There's still the three of them around here, Entity. He'll at the back of a Squadix, who'll look for a rotation top of the puck. And by the looks of it, wasn't even needed. Kuritish pretty much taking down Fishman on his own. He chases out the Warlock.
Squadix will not get his bottle filled. He was attempting there from FNG. He comes back and kind of full heals. I think he got like, what, 2 or 3 Chaos Strikes? So back up to a very healthy point here. So he's sticking himself up here.
So just getting some of the stats going here around the Ancients. Wisdom Root. Very close early game. Stormstormer looking to be incredibly active, trying to sort of mirror what we were seeing from Squadix in that last game on his Pango. A lot of action. Already 7 minutes in. Immediate smoke up with Fishman. They're going to look to make another play top.
I love it. Even without Rolling Thunder, I like that he's looking to make these moves to apply pressure here. The two of them here, it's definitely pretty different looking at the CK.
Oh, he's here.
10.
Catch vision of him soon under the ward.
Rolling Thunder and this Dawn, they should be able to have it.
The shield crash. There's going to be any sort of backup coming in for Kiritish? It doesn't look like it. He's being left on his own. Fishman trying to live with the body blocks, and indeed Kiritish is struggling to get away from these threes. Rolling Thunder's back up. They'll be able to take down the CKs. VP not able to put any sort of response in play there and just let Kiritish go down.
Nicely done. And they're even setting up for the power rune too, so Katomi he'll be able to deny that one away from the puck. He'll be able to get Stormstormer with an invis, and they'll even get the whole tower. Meanwhile, bottom, they do get the tower as well too, as Notice has been left completely on his own with the Luna jungling, so trades back and forth. Very even early game, first 8 minutes.
Gabby and Stormstormer, maybe see if they can go again onto Kiritish.
Still looking to be active.
He's just come back into lane. They're going to go straight for him with the combos. Got the Phantasm.
Nice dodge.
Get it off. Turns the Gale spot over towards Stormstormer.
He could be in trouble.
Taking heavy hits here for the Phantasm. Sologani coming in. He dies. The dive there on the swashbuckle out. Stormstormer getting punished as VP turn. The setup here with the Dream Coil, the Squadix should manage to ensure that they get a couple of kills out of this. Jumps in with a waning rift. VP, they'll take out the 2.
Oh, that was so sick. I mean, little individual plays, but honestly, Kiritich's Phantasm dodging the Starbreaker that time, and then honestly a little bit of RNG, but Chaos Strike right at the end there. They try to make an aggressive move. It actually hurts quite a lot, because now that Donald is on cooldown as well. Full armament already for the CK.
Unlikely to be able to make that sort of play again with just the 2. They'll need the third hero ready on the offensive if they want to try and tackle Kiritish.
But Watson, of course, he'll be like, all right, guys, good job. He's gone for the full farm build. You know, that they were contemplating on the panel which route he's going to go for. It is looking like it's going to be 1-4-4 Mask of Madness, just all about just getting his timings.
Gabby
now coming out.
I've got eyes on him here. VP stepping up. Kiritish opens up onto Gabby.
Ice Blast at the ready, but not going to be able to throw it out.
Too speedy here with the phase boots and the pick pop. Entity themselves, maybe seeing if they could have caught Noticed whilst attempting to clean up a camp, but Noticed is playing it safe.
They should almost always have kill potential, but if they do have one of these combinations of either a Rolling Thunder or like an Eclipse when the beam levels do come out on Watson, should have good kill threat onto this Tidehunter if he does step up too far when they have this.
Seeing if they could have noticed clean up the gap, but that's just playing it safe. They should almost always have kill potential, but if they do have one of these combinations of either Rolling Thunder and this when the level for that on Watson, should have good kill threat on this 900 if he does step up too far when they have this. Seeing if they could have noticed clean up the gap, that's just playing it safe. They should almost always have kill potential, but if they do have one of these combinations of either Rolling Thunder and this when the level for that on Watson, should have good kill threat on this 900 if he does step up too far when they have this.
Ya, sebenarnya soalnya aku udah ngiler dulu kan. Barang doang, gitu, cara doang. Yang gitu sama timnya lanjut. Nah, kayak gini kan sebenarnya tak ada album. Kayak gini kan jelas belum bedanya soalnya. Tolong ya, fast forward. Kalau nggak ngerti dan kalau soal
The Mask of Madness compared to a CK who just Defusal is finished up though for Stormstormer. It's gotten delayed a lot though. I mean, 14 minutes, still pretty decent timing, but with these last two deaths, could have come out much sooner. We'll be able to get their Wisdom Rune though, Katomi, so it doesn't get stolen away.
Entity. They do want to try and make something happen with the two supports.
They'll
even maybe no. Okay, somebody's just passing by. He's not going to be part of this move. He's just going to be down to the three of them: Stormstormer, Katomi, and Fishman, to make something happen with these ultimates.
Let's see what they find too. I mean, ideal is of course finding Kiritich. I mean, if they run into the puck, if his orb is down, perhaps they can get him. But
it's hard to catch.
Very difficult kill to find.
It might have to be some sort of Golem drop the Rolling Thunder, but even if you do that, you're actually locking down the Rolling. Probably not.
Breaks the smoke.
It's not the hero they want to be going for.
No, it's not easy. Not easy for them to set up ganks. And not easy for them to really pose threats on these towers early on either. The Luna, of course, not wanting to turn up, while on the side of VP, they can look to turn up for towers. They have Pugna Blast, they have the Meteor Raiders constantly too, so they can whittle these towers down slowly during this downtime. Yeah, the lead is growing and growing.
How do Entity find some sort of action? I mean, it feels like, despite the fact that they want to be looking for it, they're probably their best efforts at finding a fight. It's just going to be turning around when the VP brings to them. They've got to be prepared, they've got to set up R&D for that turnaround potential off the back of maybe a whiffed ult from VP. Perhaps the squad jumps in, misses the Dream Coil, or a Ravage doesn't come in time. Then there might be the situation for Entity to turn and take the team fight themselves.
Definitely complicated until they do have like a Blink Dagger or something like that on Stormstorm to start a fight themselves. Counter initiation is likely what has to happen. Literally just having, he's not getting any pressure whatsoever. And Watson isn't either, of course, but you can see the three cores on the side of VP just getting that little bit more as the time builds up. And even FNG, I mean, he's getting his space. His Midas is starting to get queued up.
Just farming these areas of the map over on Entity's half as well. VP not allowing Entity to get a whole lot of the team out at these moments.
They're denying quite a bit, yeah. It's 3 to 8, but they're doing some significant economical damage with these last few moves. And smoked up, they've got everything at the ready. I believe a Blink finished up on squad.
I'm going to coil into a Ravage, into an Ice Blast. Somebody's going to die on Entity.
Yeah. And here comes one of them.
Here's the Ice Blast. They'll look for Fishman. They won't need to drop much at all for him. Just the Ice Blast really being expended. Dream Coil and Ravage still there, good to go.
just complicated for the usual situations when there's a Dawn in the game, right? It's when these moves happen, it's like a Dawn ult is able to come in time or anything like that, but the heroes are just dead. They're immediately just getting exploded, and even if not, I mean, the Ice Blast is going to be able to prevent any healing, so it's complicated for Entity, it feels like, in these next few moments. VP getting away with murder. And yeah, the tower pressure, it's starting to build up too with that gradual push of the hammer and Pugna Blast.
Gabby.
Squad X, he's got an arcane going. Yeah, looking for a target. Gabby will be able to get away. Watson also quickly TPing out.
They just don't really have a hero on Entity that can safely sit underneath these towers. I mean, whoever does whilst the wave's getting pushed in underneath them, unless they have the numbers on Entity, VP, they won't be afraid to dive.
And Stormstormer, he's found.
And he's very dead.
See you later.
Coil and an Ice Blast, they'll pretty much do the job every single time on any of the heroes that Entity have right now.
They're just getting away with everything. It really just feels like they're making every single move, and it's very limited for the side of Entity of who wants to start and make a move themselves. They don't have a blink on this Pango. He's gone for the Shard this game. They don't have the Dawn, who's having a good game either, to try to start fights. Usually not a hero that starts fights anyway, but VP so far making it look easy. Although Watson still keeping up with the farm. That's the important thing, and he's got his Shard finished up now too.
It's just going to be a question of how impactful will this Luna feel when Watson turns up with the Manta and the BKBs. You can imagine, as soon as that BKB is done, highly likely the Entity, they're going to have to try and get the Luna involved.
Yeah, and is he going to be able to withstand and sustain in any way when there's going to be those Ice Blasts that connect on him?
They'll drop a Golem here. They really want FNG. They will get him.
The Bedlam Golem, I haven't seen that one before.
I mean, it costs Fishman his life in return. They'll get Seish as well, so Entity able to take the two supports out in that sort of situation. The question is if they can get out. Squad X is in with the silence. They'll drop the Ravage here happily to take Stormstormer out. So a 2 for 2. I mean, definitely seeing the tough position Entity feel that they are in, just dropping the Golem in that sort of situation. They try and force something. It gets them something, but they still lose the bigger kills.
At least he's going to cut a wave. I'm seeing Fishman using his Golem up top. He is going to be able to cut the top wave, so get a little bit of farm. And
the Coil.
Coil catches.
Squad X, I mean, he's happy to drop his ults for kills here and there. As VP, they've got that sort of a lead. They don't need to rely on holding the ults to guarantee themselves kills right now. They're that far ahead.
And they're getting a Roche out of it, too. I mean, Entity, they get a little trigger happy, just really wanting to go for a type of kill, but quickly it gets thrown right back into their face. VP, quick to respond.
And they could get a lot done with this push off the back of an Aegis.
Yep.
He has
full BKB.
How are they going to kill the CK?
How are they going to kill the CK? I mean, they can kill maybe the Phantasm Illusion and stuff like that, but killing him in particular, very complicated. They don't have an AA, right? That's the thing. Like, if they had an AA, perhaps there would be that extra thing so they can't sustain or anything like that. But
and they just don't have that. They don't have that way to lead into the fights.
No.
It really is just. I mean, obviously the Blink Dagger is not even coming out on Stormstormer right with this build. So the Diffuser is queuing up the Basher and the Ags. They're just not going to have that jump to start things.
Definitely complicated for Watson, even though he is keeping up in farm. Just how well is he going to be able to do just in that matchup versus CK with AA Blast with all the backup, and versus a Puck who has literally nothing to deal with. Again, Squad X, last game, flawless performance, Pango, 4-0-5 on the Puck. I mean, this one, you can see it coming versus those stuns.
They're going to come out with the smoke, but still with the way that the Golem was dropped before, it's still on cooldown. 40 seconds without the Golem.
Okay.
And they really do need everything they can get Entity to have a chance of turning a team fight.
This is BKB CK also on the front line here. And he did just hit 15, so actually his Phantasm is quite a bit tankier too.
Now VP, they're just going to go for the Tormentor.
Okay.
Yep. If Entity can put a stop to this, the BKB is out already for Kiritish. I mean, Stormstormer's gone in with the Rolling Thunder. Gabby leads him with the Solar Guide, but Kiritish just steps up and absolutely rips apart.
Big blast.
Ice Blast coming in with a great connection onto pretty much the entirety of them. Stormstormer goes down. Double kill for Kiritish. He's ready to look for the cleanup here. Diving into the tower, looking towards Watson. Triple kill for Kiritish. He's even
He's so alive.
He doesn't even go down the once here. CK surviving, keeping the Aegis intact. Katsomi will manage to TP away. But this game, I mean, we heard from G at the start, he wanted another fast one. And ironically, this is a fast one by the looks of it, Fog. 21 minutes in, 12k lead, Virtus.pro crushing Entity so far.
Crushing everything, and it's a pretty cool looking jump that comes out there too from Pango, but they're just too tanky. They just withstand it. They have the pipe.
Kiritish after that fight as well.
Huge.
4,000 gold in the bank. He can buy whatever he wants. Did have the blink queued up. Might just be tempted to finish off the heart now with how rich he is. And at that point, if he gets this heart done, there's nothing that's going to be taking the CK down.
And even like Watson, his BKB wasn't even ready there for that fight, but even if it was, likely to just die as FNG lands one of the better Ice Blasts from across the map. It hits all 4 of them as they're trying to retreat. And in the meantime, he's still stacking too, actually. I'm looking at FNG, he's got stacks at the ready also to just keep boosting Kiritich up. Secondary Tormentor now for them too. I mean, everything is just going in their favor.
Yeah, they're making this one look pretty easy here, Virtus.pro.
Yep. I mean, the heart, it's pretty much going to be finished up already for Kiritich. And might not even be able to kill those Phantasms anymore. Now that he's got the 15 talent and a heart pretty much done. The supports are starting to surpass Stormstormer now on the Pango.
And they really are. No, you're absolutely right about that. So very close to hitting that bottom 3 net worth spot on the Pangolier. Quite the difference from Squadix's performance in game 1.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Stormstormer having a rough one.
I mean, Squadix has just had his number, right? Every time. It feels like he's gotten like a coil silence onto him 2 or 3 times at the ideal moments in the game when Entity wanted to try to be able to get a little bit of an advantage, but just never was the case. Kiritich, I mean, we've seen that now like 4 or 5 times where he just walks at this poor Warlock and just disintegrates him.
It's definitely going to be one of the more insane item timings on a CK, and we've seen a lot of it.
Yes.
Yep.
At this point, 23 minutes in, 16.5k net worth, heart complete on top of the armlet, BKB and Echo Saber.
And they're just forcing things now at this
terrifying.
point. I mean, tier 2, they can't pop the glyph because I mean, they actually are going to pop it. I mean, this is the high ground glyph, so see if VP looks to punish since they used that one early.
Now VP on the hunt. Smoke up and...
Kiritich is probably saying, guys, they used high ground glyph. Like, we can probably look to poke a little bit here.
Still got a minute on the Aegis.
Yep, they've got Pugna, they've got Hammer too, so...
I mean, even if they didn't have the Aegis, I don't think they're going to be too scared of approaching the high ground with how farm they are.
I mean, that glyph, every time I see those tier 2 glyphs when you're at this disadvantage,
Fishman's got to be careful.
It's dangerous. This tower's dropping quick.
If anyone gets caught by the rift here of the CK, they will die in an instant. Squadix leading in. Ice Blast is going to get the hit onto Fishman. He should be fine. But still being held back in the fountain. 24 minutes in, a VP there on the verge of taking the barracks here. Fortification comes out. Smoke up from entities, they'll try and get in position for the high ground defense.
And BKB Watson, this is an attempt here to strike. He's looking for the flank around. Still into Aegis 30 seconds though, and the Rex is gone.
It's just so hard for them to start a fight. If they step in with one sort of footstep into the wrong position, notice he's going to be responding with a Ravage, and suddenly the whole combo is going to come crashing down onto Entity. It's just seemingly impossible for them to enter into any sort of battle with VP.
And VP's not even giving them any opportunities either. They just back right up, go back to farming, and look at FNG.
He's just AFK.
He almost has a Hex.
He's living the life. He doesn't even need to be anywhere close. I mean, he's been doing so much with the Ice Blast alone.
Yep.
He can happily farm wherever he wants. You get this, definitely one of the faster Hex timings you'll see on an AA done.
Yeah, I mean, Panel was saying that it's Entity who has to try to get a fast Hex to deal with this puck, right? But it's actually going to be FNG.
And just another thing really for Stormstormer to have to worry about.
Absolutely. And Watson just not a position where you want to be on this Luna now. 4,000 behind or so from the CK. Very vulnerable. Has to have his team kind of rallied behind him at this point right now. It's VP. They're ready for any fight that comes to them. On to the next tier 2. Still no glyphs available for quite some time.
And is that with the Hex pretty much done? Yeah, just 300 go. And that Hex will be there on FNG.
He's like, let me Midas. Thank you. You guys can take the farm now. Just kidding, it's mine. Yeah, wow. It's pre-30 minutes. Another building to fall. Onto the high ground they go.
No, they don't need no Aegis to push here, VP. I mean, last game, we saw them sort of take it safe, back off, wait for Roche timers. This game, they've got that much of a lead that I don't think they'll be needing to wait for anything. They're in with the push. Tier 3 tower starting to fall. That's the Hex completed 26 minutes in on FNG's AA.
Insane how fast. The tower drops. Squad X even looking for now. I mean, he can kind of waltz in like this. That's how much freedom the puck has. He can just walk in, start hitting the range Marek's bottom while his team also takes up mid.
I mean, who goes in on Entity? I mean,
the Ravage.
They're going to get a jump unnoticed. He's in with the Ravage, catches Gabby. Gabby's out of the game, no buyback for him. The Stormstormer will roll up heads over towards the Tide. Kiritic just pulls in Fishman, focuses the Warlock. A couple more hits. Fishman will actually manage to walk away from this one, but damage is just not coming out from Entity. VP, they're perfectly fine to continue to push in beyond the barracks, force Entity back to the fountain. Kiritic is able to continue to beat down onto the barracks. Do anything.
They get the connection on Squad X actually with absolutely everything, but he just gets glimmered and then just gets completely pumped back up from Seatle all the way back to full HP.
That's the mid-set of Rax.
Just gets glimmered and then just gets completely pumped back up from Seatle all the way back to Dawn.
Phantasm's ready to go. That's VP. They'll stick around. They'll keep the push going onto this top tier 3. It's a tough one here for Entity. Able to put up at least a bit of a fight in game 1, but this game 2, really feeling like there's nothing they can do in this one, Fog.
No hope whatsoever as VP. Look at how cautious they're being. They back up together just in case. Heroes are responding. There's not even ults up for most of them, not even a BKB on the Luna, and they still play kind of careful, claiming a high ground, waiting for that opportune moment to strike again. And Roche soon on the horizon. It's going to be a bit of a longer spawn, 2 minutes. But Entity maybe feeling like they just have to kind of like smoke out and look for a fight or something. It's just, I mean, it feels very desperate at this point.
They need everything though to have a chance, and once again,
even
Golem's still on cooldown. They've got to wait 70 seconds for that.
I mean, even then, like, how do you kill? The CK has 4,400 HP with the Vindicator's axe.
He is not dying here, Kiritic.
Truly does not feel like it. Ravage back up in 40 seconds, VP. Looking to close it out.
Watson
on the front line.
Up, he's going to get Dream Caught immediately. Trying to get his way out of it, but he hits an Ice Blast. That kick comes in, it's going to bring him incredibly low.
He's just gone.
He's out of the game. Watson goes down, has to buy back straight away. See outside of the base, Storm and Gabby trying to get some sort of a catch. Watson the BKB, but Kiritic just turns and just easily able to trade back towards him. Now they might be able to have a chance of focusing the CK. Kiritic walking it off, will get defensively decrept by Sayush, and he's able to reset and get back in. Kiritic turns back forward with the Rift and the stun over towards Gabby. Double kill for Squadix. They're just cleaning things up at Virtus.pro. Triple kill for Squadix on the puck. As Entity, they'll continue to throw buybacks into this action, but they're just not killing anybody.
They're so good at just resetting. Honestly, Sayush in this one, 4 stabs and saves onto Kiritic when it looked like perhaps he could maybe go down there. Again and again, they just bail him out of any potential threat. As Watson, this is the last hurrah, the smoke to wrap around.
It really is. Likely to
he is so fragile, and he reveals himself on a sentry. Squadix is just in.
And then just the Dagon burst already bring him down incredibly low. Squadix is able to jump forward. Watson tries to turn a Honda back with the Ravage is there, and indeed this game's over. This series is done. GG well played is called. Virtus.pro knocking Entity out of the competition. 2-0 here today.
Well, G got what he wanted in this one. That's
this was a quick one.
This was an absolute dominant game from absolutely everywhere, right? Like every single thing seemed to go absolutely perfect. Kiritic 10-1-5. Squadix. We expected him to have an incredible game, but 8-0-8. It seemingly seemed like they made no mistakes.
I mean, this was, some crazy stuff. I mean, for Entity, they had a great series earlier today, but coming in on this one at the end of it all against Virtus.pro, it was quite the difference between these two teams. I'm sure that first game, being able to draw it out for 61 minutes, but the win for Virtus.pro was an inevitable. And yeah, this game too. These guys looking fantastic out here on the stage, playing better than ever, Fog, Virtus.pro.
Yeah, really loving that the way that they're playing with like how active that they're being in particular from their mid lane. I mean, Squadix, the first game on Pango, making moves with his teammates, making everything happen again on the puck. He really shut down the Pango. He shut down Stormer to be able to make down any, Stormer wants to make that space, but he just couldn't because of this puck. So, wow.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do? I mean, for sort of future teams looking at Virtus.pro in this sort of game and having to go up against them, who are you targeting? Who is sort of the main threat right now on Virtus.pro? Is it pretty much a very sort of split team effort from the squad?
It really does feel like team effort because you can highlight every single one of them. Yes, the core has played amazing, but look at the saves, right? This Pugna, the invisible kind of impact, these little glimmers, 4 stabs, resets, life strains. Everybody's just doing their job perfectly, it feels like. So, going to be tough tasks for a lot of teams. I mean, VP definitely surprising a lot of people.
Absolutely, and they're going to be feeling pretty fantastic after this one, as I say. Moving on, and of course, getting to go to the next stage of the International at the Climate Pledge Arena. They'll be looking forward to that. And just that Game 2 victory, just one of those ones where everyone got to have a lot of fun. FNG, anyway, 22 assists, 0-2 and 22 involved in 22 of the 25 kills that game. A perfect performance on the apparition. And, sort of a 26 minutes hex. I don't think we're going to be seeing that again. I mean, maybe if we get another
a VP stomp like that one, and FNG's on the AA once more. But all in all, yeah, fantastic stuff from Virtus.pro here today as they'll take this series 2-0 against Entity, moving on here at the International.
Thank you, the Pixel and Fogged. It's a 2-0 for Virtus.pro, and that second game indeed was pretty convincing on their end, and they surely had fun. I'm not so sure on the side of Entity if they had fun in that one, but they had a good run. We're here to break down the game and the day as well. As Lacoste, this game, it kind of was it was a one-sided affair.
Yeah, pretty much from start to finish. The cores from Virtus.pro, they're just so insane. I'm just wondering what would happen if somehow they managed to sneak in and play a couple of majors, because this team, you know, they were not on the radar at all. They managed to play at Riyadh Masters, but that was about it. Not the best performance, but this team, when I saw them play at the group stage, they're insanely talented. Young players, and watching them play on camera, they're super chill. Like, there are no emotions whatsoever. They're like a machine, and, you know, they're not going to celebrate until it's really over.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real recipe for success going on with this team because they weren't on anyone's radar. They're showing up, playing absolute tier 1 Dota, beating teams or taking games off of teams like LGD and Spirit, and now beating Entity convincingly. I mean, they could be in for a really good run this TI. This could be one of the Cinderella runs that always seem to happen at TI, but yeah, lots of expectations coming out here. Because the format is a little bit different, you know, 4 days of break time now, teams will have time to prepare for Virtus.pro, think of them as contenders, find ways to play into them. But for the most part, people need to watch out. I mean, this is really clean Dota. All the rotations were clean, the drafting was clean, and the farming, they were always on top in net worth. In game 1, in this game 2, even when it looked like it was even, they found ways to just take over the map and farm on all 3 cores simultaneously.
Yeah, Saberlight, was Virtus.pro on the radar for the teams? Because I know there's a lot of scrimming going on ahead of an event like this.
Not really, to be honest, but we did play them a few times, and after we played them, we knew that this team is really strong. Not only like me playing Krillitich in pubs, but also just scrimming them, we knew that they're like a very strong team. Also, I just want to point out that I just noticed FNG has hand tattoos, and
yes.
Diracho got hand tattoos this year, and he won 3 majors. And I don't know if he had them before, but maybe the hand tattoos are like the way to go. Maybe I'll get some, because this is insane.
Well, FNG's had his for quite some time, so it took a while for them to properly activate.
Work eventually. Though,
yeah. That's how it works. In this game that we just witnessed here, I feel like it was quite a gamble on the side of Entity to let the CK through.
It definitely was, and I think Kirtich he's on my radar now for people to look at, because I know his CK is good, I know his Spectre is really good, but like, was he just like one of those pub players that only has a couple of heroes that he can perform on? But then he showed up with that TA, and it's like, okay, he's actually good at a lot of different heroes, so I think they realized that as well. They banned the TA because they just beat it. I think his hero pool is just too big to ban out at this point, so they let it through, but he's going to get something that he's going to play well on, and he's really good.
Yeah, it was a fantastic game for the CK, mostly though. I'm slightly biased, mostly though because the position 5s, the support always making the space for the carry, and FNG did a fantastic job at that, and he is standing by right now at Tyrion.
Thank you, Sheebs. Indeed, FNG, congratulations on that series win. Fantastic. This is the furthest you've got in the tournament since 2015, when you were playing with G, who is now your coach. How important is he to the team?
So this is first time you do an interview to me and you go like that? This is the first time you go so high at the place in the tournament. Bro, come on.
Shiva gave me that question.
Shivs, come on. Okay, I'm just kidding. I mean, yeah, it definitely feels good to, you know, play some good Dota and play another day of Dota.
Yeah, well, there are 3 teams from your region in the last 8. Why is the region so strong right now? What do you think has changed? And is this the strongest it's been that you can remember?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely one of the strongest years for our region. And why is that? It's probably team spirit. You know, when you have a strong team in your region, it usually means that you get to play some official games. Before that, we had DPC, right? So everyone good to play at least one series against them. And not only that, you have someone to look at, and also you can speak to them, right? For example, in our team, Noticed is a good friend of Lyle, and like, you know, maybe exchanging some. I don't know if they do, but it's probably happens sometimes that if you're good friends with a good team. They can give you some small hints, etc., and it definitely helps.
Awesome. Well, it definitely helped today. You guys were superb. That was a very good performance. Do you have any words for the fans out there watching you guys? Any words you want to give them, or thanks or anything like that?
Спасибо. Спасибо всем.
There you go. Back to you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, FNG and Pyrian. Also, thank you for throwing me on the bus. That's all good. But I mean, it is fantastic to see the whole region basically bloom, Effie. Because one team is doing well, Team Spirit, of course, 2 years ago, winning the International, they had a little bit of a slump. But this year, it feels like the whole region, they just picked everybody up.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty insightful what FNG said about if you have one really strong team in your region, not only do you have the ability to talk to them personally and learn from them, but you get to play against them regularly because of the DPC season. And that brings me back to when China was very strong 2 years ago, is because of the dominance of LGD, the two LGD rosters at TI8 and TI7, and then the LGD that came after. All of these Chinese teams had a team to learn from, to scrim against, to play with, so it makes a lot of sense. And if Virtus.pro owe how good they are to Team Spirit better watch out if Virtus.pro can sneak their way back in and maybe meet them somewhere in the upper bracket.
Yeah, we got 3 Eastern European teams making it all the way to the top 8, so that is exciting stuff. We'll see if they get to meet each other. We know already that Virtus.pro will have to face BetBoom. That will happen. See if they get to meet each other. We know already that Virtus.pro will have to face BetBoom. That will happen, of course, next weekend. Before we get anywhere close there, though, I mean, this was an elimination series at top 12, and for that we are heading over to Pyrian, who's standing by with Metrum.
Yeah, thanks, Sheebs. I am here with Metrum, the coach of Entity. Tough break there. Bit of an up and down season, but you must be so proud of your guys now.
I mean, after the loss, cannot say such words, but of course, like it's been a long road to TI even. So anyway, I guess in a few days I would be like, yeah, this season is not that bad. But right now, of course, everyone feels sad. I think we could achieve much more on this TI.
So in regards to how you've done here, what are you going to say to your team to either give them a lift or to sort of tell them how proud you are of them?
Not sure, we'll see. I think we'll have like some team talk soon, maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Yeah, I think last series were tough. I think I made some mistakes. Happens, but it's sad.
So what about next season, looking forward to that? What are your ambitions as a team? What are you hoping to achieve next year?
I mean, I think we want just to qualify to all big tournaments and try to improve our results, basically. Because right now we get the same result like last year on TI. Riyadh also didn't work that well for us. I think we just keep doing what we're doing, and then we'll improve step by step.
Fantastic. And finally, any words for the Entity fans out there? Obviously, they've been supporting you all year.
Sorry, guys, that we disappointed you. I think it was a tough loss. Yeah, we will try to do better. Don't know what else to say, but we're definitely gonna improve. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and better luck next time. Shiva, send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Metrum and Pyrian. There is always next time, and there's always room to improve, and it's always sad. Regardless of how you look back on any result, losing sucks. That's just, you can't really make it any better than that. We cannot forget, though, that Entity was the team to knock out the defending champions in Tundra earlier this morning, so that is definitely something to be proud of as well. And yeah, we gotta look forward here, Saberlight, because this result, Virtus.pro versus Entity getting knocked out, was that something that you saw coming?
Yeah, eventually. I mean, I was rooting for them. I'm a big Entity fan, but I think the Virtus.pro, they're in a very good form right now. So in my mind, they were kind of the favorites to win this series.
Yeah, they definitely did deliver on that one. We have our top 8 ready to play at the International in the Climate Pledge Arena. We are getting so close to being able to crown a champion at the end of next week. And all these 8 teams, they're going to provide some world-class Dota in the Climate Pledge Arena. And it feels so good to know that we're heading to that arena, formerly known as Key Arena, there's so much nostalgia just being back in Seattle as we're gonna relive some of those memories.
I'm definitely excited about TI returning to Seattle. It was basically where it all began, right?
I love TI in Seattle. I feel like this is the best TI that ever have been.
I'm super stoked for Seattle. Key Arena was a really important place for Dota. That arena was really magic.
I've heard from a lot of players that Seattle TI is always like something special.
I never got to play there, so I'm really grateful to get to that city. I think it's also a really beautiful city. Of course, it's gonna be the same arena like the last TIs, right? So it's gonna be cool to be at that place in person. It's quite a historical place for a Dota player, I think.
可能会有更加特殊的自信吧，然后一切都还是要先等到去呼吸西雅图的空气吧，然后去感受一下那边的氛围。
Muy emocionado, o sea, mi primer tiempo fue en Seattle y como que siento que volver ahí puede marcar para mí un antes y un después, así que me siento muy emocionado de ir ahí.
I'm really excited for TI to be coming back to Seattle. The crossing of worlds there, and family members or friends getting to see that piece is really cool and special, I think.
Having TI back in Seattle is going to be really fun. I think it's going to tie into a lot of the nostalgic value that I have for my early TIs.
I really want to find some Starbucks in Seattle and try it.
It's okay.
Basically, it's like the OG place in some ways, so I'm really excited for it to be there.
It's such an iconic place for a Dota tournament. Seattle is like the TI city.
So many core moments, so many core memories. Fear that this must also be a special time for you.
Oh, for sure. All of my best achievements in Dota have been in Seattle at TI, so we're going back there. And a lot of the youngsters, we got a lot of youngsters. Yes. They've never played in the arena before. It's new and improved. I'm obviously biased because I have really good memories from there, but the atmosphere, everything has been so amazing.
It is, I can only wait. I am very excited for this. Not just because we're in Seattle, that is incredibly special, but also look at that stacked roster. Lacoste, was there any series you're particularly looking forward to? Because I feel like it's all world class.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to see LGD Gaming against Azure Rave because they didn't have the chance to play against each other in the DPC other than one. So I want to see, to see who's going to be the best Chinese team, at least for now. Maybe there's going to be some miraculous lower bracket run, but yeah, a lot of good Dota in a magical place that dreams come true for a lot of players.
Of only 5.
5 is a lot of players.
Well, 6, the coach as well.
The coach as well, the fans as well. Yeah, okay. Very, very true. Effie, how have you experienced these last 3 days, this weekend of filled with Dota 2?
It's been really fun. TI is the best time ever, and just seeing the crowd. I haven't seen a crowd in TI since I started working Dota. We had the TI in Romania, and then last year, so just to be able to interact with the fans and see fans fly in from all over the world just to cheer for their favorite teams, so cool. Like the Chinese fans turnout was wild, and I met people from the Philippines who just flew in 2 days ago, are jet lagged, but are just sitting and camping out front and cheering for Gabby. It's so cool.
It's incredibly cool to see. I know, Saberlight, you'd rather be elsewhere than on this panel here today.
Yeah, I hate it here, Jesus.
But I mean, the day has come to an end, the panel has come to an end. So I was wondering if you had some final words for us, other than it's terrible.
Am I doing the final words?
No, for our final words for you. I will do the final words.
Okay, God bless. I was very nervous about that. Final words for me. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a blast. I'm always happy to be here with the cool dudes, watch some Dota, talk about some Dota. Hopefully there's more Saberlight gameplay or paneling coming up. So I'll do some more winners interview if they'll allow me to. And thank you.
Any final words from you, Fear, after this weekend?
I mean, I am just super hyped that we're finally getting to the main event, the International. We're getting the big arena. We had really good games, and they're only going to get better.
They are only going to get better. Was there any series particularly looking forward to? Because I think we're going to have more 3-game series.
Romania, and then
a long games. I don't
flew
think we
in
need sleep for those
people
3
from the
days
Philippines
anyway.
who just flew in 2 days ago are jet lagged, but are
Our time has come to a close here then for the road to the International. And I'm very happy to close this chapter because it means we are so very close to the International with our final 8 teams. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. You get a couple of days rest. Make sure to spend them wisely. Do all your chores beforehand so you got the full, long weekend scheduled out for some fantastic Dota 2. We'll see you again on a Friday when we are back right here on this very channel. But we will be somewhere else because we will be in the Climate Pledge Arena for the International.
Eyes on the prize.
Fans are approaching the stage. They smell blood in the water.
They're ready for this one as the Ancients expose. Bedboom stepping forward. They are going to take the victory. They are going to move on the road to the International.
We have been practicing for 2 months, and it's time to just play the fucking game.
Entity are healing up time after time, and the Ice Blast will put that heal out of the place, and Entity do it. A comeback, one of the biggest disparities, one of the fastest disparities in this playoff so far. This is the opening that Entity has been waiting for. Finally, Tundra made a move, tripped over their own feet. That is it. The TI12 winners are eliminated by Entity 2-0. Nice. Oh, they take down the Dazzle. They're going to take down more. Nightfall, nowhere left to go. And GG is called Talon. They managed to keep one away. What a performance. On Toronto, Tokyo, looking for more. That boom. They're going to claim the game. How do you do that? How? 23 Savage hoping for anything, but there is nothing left. Bedboom has taken it all. GG is called. But Bedboom makes it through, and they make it out of the road to the International, towards the International.
No reply back on him as VP. They should be surely able to close this one. Finally up here at 61 minutes. And then just the Dagon burst already bring him down incredibly low. Squatty's able to jump forward. Watson tries to turn a Honda back with the Ravage is there, and indeed this game's over. This series is done. GG well played is called. Virtus.pro knocking Entity out.
this thing.